I'm at ITF 2024, and we want to understand a bit here how imec is interacting with startups and scale-ups. imec has a program called xpand for investment. I'm here with Peter Vanbekbergen. Peter, what's imec.xpand?
Well, imec.xpand is a VC fund, which is organized as a classical VC fund, where the main target is actually to make money for our investors. But our main partner in all this is imec. And so we work together with imec on all the investments that we do.
Yeah.
And in that sense, we invest in startups that make a link to imec technology. That can be a spin-off company of imec, but it can also be an external company that works together with imec in whatever sense.
So you are looking for companies who can use the technology developed by imec and take it to different markets.
Correct. Or to improve their product. So it doesn't always have to be like that the main product is like complete imec technology. Yeah. So it can also be part of it. But we are, a real deep tech venture capitalist. We are very specialized in the sense that we invest in companies that, real hardware companies, semiconductor technology and related technologies. That doesn't always have to be semiconductor, can also be, MEMS technologies, optical technologies. Those are our focal points.
In terms of company size, what's the sweet spot? Are you looking for small companies, young companies, full of energies, or are you looking more for well-established startup companies?
Actually, our specialty is really to take the companies almost from the start.
Excellent.
Obviously, when we are talking about spin-off companies, we already work together with imec before the company is even created, to build a business case and to build a team and make the right decisions also from a technological point of view, and then spin off the company. And in the seed phase, we are almost always the lead investor. And with the new fund that we just closed at 300 million a few weeks ago, we can actually do a significant investment already in the seed phase. We can do 3 to 5 million in the seed phase. And then
you have ticket size of 3 to 5 million
in the seed phase, yes.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And is there any geographical location preference?
We have no geographical restrictions.
Okay.
Although we are focusing on areas that make most sense. And so far, we've obviously invested in Europe.
Yeah.
Our latest 6 investments were in 6 different countries in Europe. We've also done investments in the US.
Yes.
And obviously cooperating very closely with the US on some cases. We can also invest in Asia. But so far, more from a cooperation point of view, that was more or less likely to happen, but there is no restriction.
We have heard a lot of very interesting companies, very good success stories over ITF here. Could you highlight a couple of the companies that you are really excited about?
Yes. One company that we're really excited about is Celestial AI.
Yes.
So obviously they're using optical technologies to accelerate the memory access time, and which is essential, obviously, for almost all AI applications.
Correct.
And so this company is really flying. They just closed a round of 175 million. And we as an investor were there at the earliest seed phase. So we've been following exactly the trajectory that I just described.
Which is prove also your geographical independency. This is an American company.
Yes, yes. Another company we're also excited about is a recent investment in the UK, which is Optalysys.
Okay, yes.
And they do actually optical compute, but then for encryption purposes.
Yes.
And so that is also a very interesting company because they accelerate the encryption with orders of magnitude.
Correct.
Specifically for health and banking applications. Yeah. And so that is also quite exciting, also from an optical perspective.
Are you noticing increase or decrease interest on quantum technologies?
Well, I think it's still there, but obviously, these technology storms come in waves.
Yes.
And the last 2-3 years, the wave is AI. And we see quantum a little bit, disappearing a little bit in that storm. Nevertheless, it remains very important. It remains also a point of investment for our new fund.
It's very risky because we have been receiving quite a lot of investment funds in quantum, and now we are really in the middle of the valley of death. So if investment goes down, basically we are losing all the money that was put there. Is that from imec side, since you have invested so much in quantum technologies in the past and you have developed fantastic quantum technology, so much of your booths are here, is there any interest on reviving that ecosystem?
Well, currently, we have invested in PsiQuantum.
I know.
At PsiQuantum, we don't necessarily like the photonic approach to quantum computing because photons make better qubits. They make great qubits. I love them as qubits, but I also love plenty of other qubits. What I really like photons for is the orders of magnitude advantages that they have in these scaling challenges.
PsiQuantum is still doing very well. I think they received $1 billion investment in Australia. So quite happy about that. But our team is still doing the whole landscaping of quantum compute and actually identifying where the bottlenecks are, also based on the recent learnings.
Yeah.
And there we are looking for investment in that specific bottleneck.
Another field is medtech. From European side, I'm noticing that startups in medical technologies are struggling. It is very hard to go all the way towards even clinical trials, let alone clinical commercialization. How does imec help the startups in the medical sector?
We are definitely an investor in medtech, where, again, semiconductor or related technologies play an important role.
Yes.
And I can give you a few examples of that.
Please go.
Pulsify Medical is a company that is developing a ultrasound flexible patch. Mm-hmm. And the technology is based on television technology, display technology.
Yes.
And as such, we can make these patches so large and cheap and still have a good performance that they become disposable. So it becomes a per patient use model.
Yeah.
So you can apply it for a couple of days and then dispose of it. As a consequence, this is a totally new market. And what is the contribution of imec in all this? Is basically that we can make it so cheap and mass volume producible. There is no other medical player that is thinking that way and can do it that way.
Another company that is getting a lot of interest in your portfolio is MICLEDI. The idea of using microLEDs for AR/VR light engines has received a lot of support and also some skepticism. Where do you stand on this debate?
Well, clearly we see MICLEDI as a very important company in the AR space. I think they are the one that can make augmented reality much more portable if you compare it, for instance, to the Apple Vision Pro, where you have real projection on the glasses, at also a light intensity that makes it usable outside, which is currently still a major problem. And they do it in such an integrated way that it becomes also affordable and much cheaper than before, and mass producible.
If we could ask you now, what is your preferred future? We are putting a lot of money in a few very interesting companies. If we had this interview in 2028, what kind of things would you tell me? Would you like to tell me?
Well, currently we have 2 unicorns in our portfolio. Obviously, I would like to announce that we have 4 or 5 unicorns in our portfolio, and also a number of, let's say, 4 or 5 that on their way to that type of valuation. That's one thing. Second thing that I would like to tell you is 2 or 3 very good exits. That can be IPOs or an acquisition by a major company. So those are the 2 things that I would definitely like to see.
Peter, thank you very much for a great interview. Congratulations to you and the entire imec team for what I think is perhaps the best industry meeting in the world, the ITF.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Stay tuned for more interviews on ITF 2024.